Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy Vigilante Styles. And I'm here mixing with cans, of course, because it's kind of noisy here today. So we're going to mix with cans. All right, so I got this really cool track. It's about 18, or this song's got about 18 tracks. It's from HRXT. I think it's called Nightmare or something. I think it's the name of the song. Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. But you guys get to actually see my actual system. So a lot of my other videos, it's like I'm experimenting. I'm playing around with different things. And maybe sometimes I'm changing my system. But in this case, this is it. This is the system. I have come to the conclusion after dealing with Harrison's fucking bullshit and I don't know, not really crazy about Waves plugins crashing DAWs and stuff that I use. Not exactly crazy about a DAW that I typically like, which is Studio One, forcing everybody to upgrade to number 6. Not really forcing everybody, but they don't give you free upgrades for life. And you pay for it, like you don't get a free upgrade. It's like you got to pay another $350. I'm not doing that shit. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm just going to stick with companies that are not trying to, steal all my money. And plus they're selling products that are useful. So, okay, Pro Tools, they're subscription based now. Fuck that. And you could buy a license, but fuck them, right? I mean, their DAW is not that fucking great. It's just everywhere. That's about it. But it's not great. Like, the functions are not all superior to everything else. It's just everywhere because it's one of the oldest DAWs in existence. That's the whole reason why everybody's using it. And they're used to it. That's all it is. They're used to it. It's largely the same program now that it's been for the last, 20 years at least, with some minor changes, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. So I'm paying like over $1,000 for a license, or I'm not going to their subscription model. They can go fuck off on that one, right? That's my famous words. Go fuck off, right? So I'm using FL Studio. Oh my God, you're such an amateur. You are such a fucking noob using fucking FL Studio. Fruity Loops. Yes, bitch. I'm using FL Studio. There's nothing wrong with FL Studio, dickheads. Like, seriously, there's nothing wrong with it. It's completely fine. It's, I'm not calling you guys dickheads. I'm just the critics. They're dickheads. There's nothing wrong with it, dude. It's actually, when you get to use it, especially at version 20 and up, it's superior to me than most other DAWs. So, don't get me wrong, I like Studio One, I do, but I'm not going to pay the $350 to go to Studio One 6. Like, fuck that shit. Like, 5 just came out not that long ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the fuck? 5 was new when I got it, right? And that's like, God, less than 6 months ago? And they're already on 6 now, and they only add like a couple other things, and they're like $350. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, Studio One crashes. Like, what? Why is it crashing all of a sudden? Okay, you guys are trying to force me into this shit. No, not doing that. At the very minimum, if FL Studio gives me a problem, I can upgrade. Because I paid for this. I got number 20, right? When you buy a license, you can upgrade with the same license, like all the way to the future versions. Like when they make FL Studio 100, if I'm still alive for that, I can get that for nothing. I can just go download it, put in my license, and bam, it works. That's good business, right? So I didn't mind. So because of that, I paid for the full version, man. I unlocked everything. I didn't want anything not available to me in FL Studio 20, right? I paid for all that fucking shit. Actually, I got the latest version of FL Studio 20, as a matter of fact. So it's not, it's getting close to 21. They're beta. I don't go for the betas because I don't want the shit crashing on me. But when they get to FL Studio 21 and it's stable, I'll get into it. But this is the most recent stable version. Is like 20.9 or something or whatever the hell. So that's what I'm using right now. And it's completely fine. Like, my big pet peeve with the old FL Studio things was not being able to put plugins across a whole session to make a console. But you can do that in this one, you know. So it's a nice thing. I can drag like tracks into FL Studio. It'll automatically put it into the mixer, which is another nice addition. The older versions didn't do that. And then, of course, now I can put my Brainworx consoles across everything. Oh, by the way, did I tell everybody that I'm Brainworx all the way now? Like, that's it. Like, almost everything. Okay, with the exception of things that they don't have that I need, you know, I will use some other brand. But for the most part, I think I'm stuck on the Brainworx brand at this point. Their plugins are solid. They check out well in Plugin Doctor. It's everything you could ever ask for. And on top of it all, people do A/B tests with the hardware in like videos and stuff. And you can go watch these videos, and Brainworx is usually just right there. Like either it sounds exactly like it or like 99.9% like the hardware. Good enough for me, right? And on top of it all, their licensing is pretty decent too. I mean, you can, you know, if you only have like 3 computers or something and they all go down for whatever reason, you got to get a 4th one. Well, you can transfer licenses. It's not a big deal. They don't punish you. They don't put you in a update program, which is complete shit like Waves does. They don't do shit like that. They don't do scummy shit like that. They don't do scummy shit. They give you a solid thing that will always work. It doesn't crash. I've never had Brainworx plugins crash on me. Hopefully, knock on wood or whatever, that doesn't happen to me now. But for still, they're a pretty good track record. They've never crashed up until this point, and I've been using their shit for years. So it's stable. It's good. It sounds amazing. It's very close to the hardware. Maybe even sounds exactly like it in some cases. I'm happy. They don't make garbage. So there you go, motherfuckers. Anyway, I don't want to sit here and talk all day long. Let's get the mixing going, right? Let's mix this. And like I said, you guys know my mixing philosophy, man. Recreate a console, mix on that, call it a day. Not rocket science. It's not rocket science. A lot of people like to get in the weeds with it, man, and go, oh, I got to see this shit. I got to look for tiny little resonances that bother me. If that tiny resonance bothers you, man, you're going to start fucking with all sorts of shit. And eventually your mix is going to sound all fucked up. You're going to listen to it like the next day and go, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Then you're going to mix it over again. And it's going to take you like a week to mix a song. And even then, you're not going to be happy with that mix. If you're that fucking picky, dude, you have a mental issue. Just step away and go do some other shit. Go golf. Go fucking go to work. You know, go take a nap. Go get a girlfriend. Do those kind of things, you know, and then come back to it later. Because really, for me, mixing is all about getting shit in balance. Give it a nice tone. Give it some warmth, you know, and then call it a fucking day. Like, there you go. Make it sound good and natural and call it a fucking day. Right? What about getting it loud? That's a mastering engineer's problem. That's not your problem. And then, okay, don't get me wrong. Now I'm going to have some assholes come up on my shit and start arguing with me over that. Yeah, you do. You got to make it loud in the mix. No, fucker. You can send them a quiet master. You're not putting it on tape. Well, okay. Wait. Oh, we do tape. There is tape here, the virtual tape machine. But... and I'm using that from Slate because I don't have a Brainworx tape machine. If they make one, I'm going to that because I know it's going to be good. But until then, I'll use the Slate. But, and it's a decent tape machine. Sounds just like a Studer. So it's great. So anyway, but yes, we're still in the box. So I can turn the master fader down, and we're not going to be introducing more tape hiss. Right? And noise. Unlike if you turned it down on tape, that's what would happen to you, right? So basically, you know, you don't have to mix loud, right? Just get everything clear and clean and good, and then give a lot of headroom for the mastering engineer, right? That's the whole point. Give the mastering engineer something to work with. Don't make it fucking loud. Don't put a limiter on this shit. What the hell's wrong with you guys? Don't put a limiter on it. Well, you can mix with a limiter, but take it off at the end. Oh, but then my mix falls apart. But it's going to come back when the mastering engineer puts the limiter on it, dude. But me, I don't even mix with a limiter. I have a bus compressor. I don't need to do that. I don't even mix into the bus compressor. I do another cardinal sin, right? That's another one. That's another big sin that I do, is I don't mix into the bus compressor. I slap it on at the end. What an asshole, right? You know, I put it on at the end. I adjust the threshold at the end, and they're like, oh, but now you fucked up all your transients. No, I didn't. I take into account when I'm mixing that that's going to happen, you know? And I like the way that sounds. It's gluing my mix. Glue. I don't mix into it. I that's me though, right? That's me. So that's another rule that I break. You know, all those fucking rules these motherfuckers come up with for mixing. I break all the fucking rules. I'm the ultimate rule breaking ass mix engineer. So I'm just gonna apply that at the end, and then I'll do a final adjustment on the tape, making sure that my meter is basically hitting about 12 o'clock, because I don't want it going in the red. Yeah, I know it's going to give it more good, sexy tape saturation, but if you're really going to tape, you're going to try to stay out of the red. You're going to get it close to the red, but you're going to try to stay out of it for the most part. I mean, if you kind of go into it a little bit, it's not the end of the world. But I don't do that because I don't want too much distortion. Even the good sounding shit. Too much good is bad. Too much ice cream is bad for you, but a little bit is delicious, right? Too much water. Well, that's good. Water's supposed to be good for you. You drink too much, you kill yourself, right? So, I mean, that's kind of the philosophy I have. You know, too much saturation is bad, but no saturation is terrible, right? It's boring. It sucks, right? So, you got to find the happy medium. That's what I'm here to do. Find the happy medium. My goal when I'm mixing is to make it sound real. That's it. Like, this sounds natural. It doesn't sound artificial. It doesn't sound digital. Even though we are digital, right? But these plugins are supposed to make it not sound digital, because digital sound is boring. It is fucking boring, right? That's the thing we've learned about things. Perfect is not perfect. That's that way in nature, beauty, all this other stuff. They talk about like people like being perfect, perfect symmetry, perfect that. They look weird when they're perfect. That's why these motherfuckers go get this fucking plastic surgery. They look fucking weird when they're trying to be perfect. People like mostly perfect, but with a little bit of non-linearities. Think about it. Some of the most beautiful people in the world, man, they're like 90% perfect and like 10% slightly asymmetrical. That gives them their character. That makes them look better. Because I think the brain also realizes that too perfect is a problem. That's not natural. And that's the way I see about music too, right? It's too perfect is unnatural. It doesn't sound good. It sounds way too boring, flat, cold. It's not natural. Aim for natural. All right, let's go.
Hard to tell when we're on the run. Can we make the high last? Oh, I say you got nothing to hide, telling me I'm the only one. Why you look to the side? Oh, baby, you're up and down, you're hot and cold. Heard it from a friend, you're hard to hold, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Are you just another nightmare coming back to haunt me? Kill me slowly, then take my love and run. Or are you just a nightmare coming back to haunt me? Trying to change me, then take my love and run. Or are you just a... Are we moving too fast? Hard to tell when we're on the run. Can we make the high last? Oh, I say you got nothing to hide, telling me I'm the only one. Why you look to the side? Oh, baby, you're up and down, you're hot and cold. Heard it from a friend, you're hard to hold, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, are you just another nightmare coming back to haunt me? Kill me slowly, then take my love and run. Or are you just a nightmare coming back to haunt me? Trying to change me, then take my love and run. Or are you just a... Am I missing red flags? Been a while since I trust someone, but you just like my last. Oh, I say you got nothing to hide, telling me I'm the only one. Why you look to the side? Oh, baby, you're up and down, you're hot and cold. Heard it from a friend, you're hard to hold, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, are you just another nightmare coming back to haunt me? Kill me slowly, then take my love and run. Or are you just a nightmare coming back to haunt me? Oh, are you just another nightmare coming back to haunt me? Kill me slowly, then take my love and run. Or are you just a nightmare coming back to haunt me? Trying to change me, then take my love and run. Or are you just a... Are you just a... Or are you just another nightmare? Baby, you're up and down, you're hot and cold. Heard it from... Baby, you're up and down, you're hot and cold. Heard it from a friend, you're hard to hold, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, are you just another nightmare coming back to haunt me? Baby, you're up and... Baby, you're up and down, you're hot and cold. Heard it from a friend, you're hard to hold, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, are you just another nightmare coming back to haunt me? Kill me slowly, then take my love and run. Or are you just a nightmare coming back to haunt me? Trying to change me, then take my love and run. Or are you just a... Am I missing red flags? Been a while since Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, are you just another nightmare coming back to haunt me? Kill me slowly, then take my love and run. Or are you just a nightmare coming back to haunt me? Try to change me, then take my love and run. Or are you just a... Am I missing red flags? Been a while since I trust someone, but you just like my last. Oh, I say you got nothing to hide, telling me I'm the only one. Why you look to the side? Oh, baby, you're up and down, you're hot and cold. Heard it from a friend, you're hard to hold, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, are you just another nightmare coming back to haunt me? Kill me slowly, then take my love and run. Or are you just a nightmare coming back to haunt me? Try to change me, then take my love and run. Or are you just a... Are you just a... Or are you just another nightmare coming back to haunt me? Kill me slowly, then take my love and run.
Yeah, man, that's it right there. Now, see how easy that was? I guess you're probably wondering. I know a lot of people like the E series, SSL 4000. I like the G. Well, the G is also, because it's not used as much as the E, kind of gives me my own sound in a way. I like it because it's got a Pultec style EQ. That's kind of the thing, especially on the top. So, like that pink knob, when you turn that up, it kind of dips. Not necessarily on the Waves version, but on this one, because this one really is really dead on to the console. The actual console, when you would turn that pink knob up on the high end, it would make a little bit of a dip, like the high mids, and then bring the frequency up. So on the top, it's on a shelf curve that does that. So this is the high shelf, and the high shelf will make a little bit of a dip, and then bring up the highs. So I thought that I like the way that sounds when that happens. So that's why I like this EQ better. Yeah, it's the pink knob, right? Now we could switch. I could actually get orange knob EQ, which I don't really know how good that sounds. I never use it, but maybe I might play around with it one day. That's very rare. As a matter of fact, I think this is the only SSL 4000G emulation that has the orange knob. It's the only one. The only in the world. I don't know. Actually, I think Waves makes like an extra EQ. That could be it. This could be the orange knob. That extra EQ they have with the Waves SSL bundle. You know, that's got me thinking. I just want to take a look. Like, this mix is done. I just want to see it. Hopefully it doesn't bug up my session. Let me take a... I'm curious, right? Is this the orange knob? No, it shows black. No, it's pink on the top. I don't understand how this is any different than the fucking one that's on the channel. Let me check the G channel for SSL. I mean for Waves. It's red and black. I mean, I guess that's technically pink knob. Fucking A, man. I don't know what the fuck they do over there at Waves. That sounds good too, but actually, the reason why I don't use that is actually it kind of sounds more like a 9000, believe it or not. It sounds more like a duality. Well, that's not a 9000, but it's based on 9000. But for some reason, the duality has that kind of sound quality for some reason. So a lot of people tend to feel that the SSLG channel from Waves actually sounds more like a duality. That's not a bad thing. Like, I mixed that Weekend song with it, that everybody's like been watching on my YouTube channel, which has like about 6,700 views or so by now at the time of me recording this. And they like the way that sounds. Yeah, sure, it sounds good, but I want a 4000. That and I want the sound of a 4000 console, not a modern one. So because I like the sounds of these. Like, okay, if you had to compare, like, okay, the 9000 is all modern shit, like from like 2005 on up, all modern shit, and then the 4000 G series, right? Well, that's like the sound of that's Chronic 2001, which everybody loves, right? I don't like the mastering of Chronic 2001, but I like the mixing of Chronic 2001. And then what? God, Tupac, All Eyes on Me, SSL 4000G. What's an EG? So it's like a G with like some E channel strips in there. So they probably use some of the E strips too, but basically a G. And then let me Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1999. That was mixed on a G. They were tracked on a Neve console, and then it was mixed on a SSL 4000G. So it was like Eazy-E's, disc record to Dre, to the 187. It's on Dre or whatever, that one. That one was mixed on a G console as well. E, now we go back to E, that's Dr. Dre, the old Dr. Dre. That's Death Row Dr. Dre, right? That's the Chronic, that's Doggy Style. If you're trying to think of the sonic footprint of that console, that's that, right? And then, I don't know, when you get to like B series, which is like the new big thing because they have the new 4K B plugin from SSL, that's Phil Collins, that's Peter Gabriel, that's the very, very early adopters of SSL consoles. That's those guys. Right, so I give you an idea of what that sonic footprint should sound like. But 4000G, that's more of like basically mid to late 90s hip hop. A lot of it before the 9000 came out at that time too, but it wasn't really used on a lot of records. Like when the console comes out, they don't have it in every studio as soon as it drops. It's like they didn't really start getting those 9000 consoles like the J series and stuff till like 99, 2000 stuff, and you didn't really hear it on a lot of records at that time yet. So, another one, 4000G, No Diggity, right? Blackstreet, No Diggity, Serban Gania's very first record that big record that he mixed was mixed on a SSL 4000G console. This is before he became a Pro Tools guy. So those are comparisons, right? You can go listen to those records and go, oh, okay, I get the sonic footprint. They use outboard gear too, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, everything, the console was the centerpiece of the mix equation. So I'm using that, and I don't know a lot of people who like the G, except for those who do rock music. I don't know why they think it's a rock console when so much pop and hip hop is mixed on it, but okay, whatever, right? I guess it's a rock console. That's what Tony Maserati said in a video for Waves. It's a grit. A G stands for grit, gain, and whatever the hell. It's mid-rangey. But I mean, so much hip hop was mixed on a G console. Whatever. For hip hop, it's E. Well, okay. Well, that's Dr. Dre, right? But a lot of hip hop was done on G. Just FYI for those who are checking the history of this stuff. So I like that sound. I like the sound. This G is gangsta. That's what that means to me. This is gangsta, man. This is G-funk. This is gangsta rap music, man. This is, that's what the G means to me. So, ghetto, great. I don't know what, 9000 is just too clean, man. For me, it's just way too clean. To me, it just loses vibe. I mean, it sounds good. Don't get me wrong. It's just way too clean. I guess you can mix trap music on 9000J. You can mix some old school stuff on it too, but it just, once again, you got to take into account that it's extremely clean. So you have to do stuff to dirty it up. Well, I don't have to do that with this. With this plugin that emulates the actual console, I don't have to do that. I get the 9000J and I can use that too on mixes, but I don't know. I kind of have a all-purpose system, and that's going to be this because I've had some clients, tell me that, oh, this sounds a little too warm. Well, okay, they're used to everything piercing their ears. And I don't think that warm is bad. I think warm is good, you know. A lot of that you're not going to even hear anyway, like on the radio, if they ever make it to the radio. Some of the people I work with, if they get on the radio, you're not going to really hear that. So, but I mean, that's clean. You guys heard this. That's not, there's nothing, you know, lo-fi about this. What the hell? There's some real picky people out there in this world, man. But they're in love with those, you know, straight up harsh digital mixes that have no analog emulation whatsoever, except that on vocals. And it's just like, that's just crazy to me, man. I don't like the way that sounds. It sounds mushy and harsh and terrible. Like all the like the mixes of like the stuff that you hear right now. That's like, you go after you watch this, go hit explore and go play some new shit, and you'll hear the difference, man. Like, what the fuck? What's up? I mean, don't get me. This is not mastered, okay? So when it's mastered, it's going to be as loud as their shit. But take into account the depth. You know, take into account the depth that you're getting, that this mix has, as opposed to something that's popular right now. They don't have the depth because they don't. Their plugins are just bit to be. Yeah, they try to drive like digital. Okay, yes, this is digital. We're in the box, right? But this is supposed to be analog, which means, in terms of its characteristics, which means you can drive it. You can hit the override load light, you know, blink every now and then. It won't kill anything. But when you drive it, it gives you a better sound, right? It gives you more harmonics, and that more harmonics sounds great. You don't get harmonics out of what these guys are doing, you know, like sitting there trying to drive a Fab Filter Pro Q3 plugin. Oh man, it boosts this up like that till it starts to sound horrible. Yeah, man, that's what I'm looking for, you know. Or they abuse like a saturation plugin that's not very good, you know. Like, I'm not saying they're not very good. I mean, some people like Decapitator is like a real popular one that everybody likes to abuse, and they'll take Decapitator and just, you know, spank it. And then get this, they're running their session at 44.1. So what does that mean? Aliasing. And they love that sound. I don't know why they love that alias smeared, smushy shit. But they love it. They love that shit. I don't love it. I don't like aliasing, man. I'm glad that Brainworx plugins internally oversample. At least that's what they say they do. And that's cool with me because, I mean, in the end, I'm getting the analog kind of vibe, but I'm getting it in a clean and clear way, you know? That's what I like. I don't like that smeary ass shit. So you'll hear a lot of that though too. Like I said, they like to abuse the Decapitator. They like to abuse Saturn. That's another one. Which, I mean, Saturn, you can abuse it. They have oversampling, but these guys, they don't do that. A lot of these guys are running their projects at 44.1, and then they're so basically a CD sample rate. So that means Nyquist is 22.5 on that. And then they're over there just driving all sorts of fucking distortion into that. And they're going to get audible aliasing, especially if they're not oversampling Saturn, which they don't do. So, yeah, you know. And people get used to that and go, man, this shit sounds dope, though, man, especially on an 808. Well, okay, cool, whatever. Sometimes, yeah, once again, there's no rules. There's no rules. If it sounds good, if aliasing sounds good on an 808, then do it, right? I mean, by all means. But I personally just don't like to do that. That's just me. That's just me. So what, you know? That's my opinion. That's not fact. My opinion is I don't like to run Decapitator and Saturn over 808s. And if I do, okay, let's say I did, I would oversample it because I don't want aliasing. So I'm just saying. And my project is at 48K, by the way. So that means when I oversample, it'll be like 96. So, because I do like 2 times oversampling. I don't really do 4 times and 16 times oversampling. God, I'm not over here trying to saturate, you know, a dog whistle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to saturate a dog whistle, guys. I don't need to put the sample rate that fucking high, dude. Crazy. Well, anyway, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoyed my rants, by the way. If you do, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and check out all my other videos as well. I think you'll find them very educational, entertaining, especially. And I don't know. You know, it's something, right? YouTube needs more of these kind of videos, so that's why I'm doing them. because yeah, it's nice to watch the guys with all the expensive gear do their mixing, and you're like, wow, I can't afford that, or wow, even if I could, I don't have the space for it, you know. But here, look, man, I'm giving you the same great sound in a computer. This is the same great sound. You see me like breaking down these plugins, and I'll rip a company for being complete like liars about their fucking product, or if it's just shit. Because I mean, like for me, what's shit is like I can get digital without using any of these plugins, right? So I'm not sitting there gonna go pay Harrison. I'm bringing their name up because they make great analog consoles, but they really suck in the software department, you know? And it's like, I'm not paying these motherfuckers for the same shit that I already have in FL Studio. I'm not. I don't care if it has a Harrison logo on it. I'm not paying him for that shit. I paid because this is supposed to give me some vibe. This gives me vibe and then beyond. Right here. It's everything. You know, just call Brainworx, man. Say, look, we'll license it out. Make up a Harrison channel strip, Brainworx, since we suck at it. You know, should do that. They don't want to... They're too prideful, I guess, to do some shit like that. But there it is, you know. Brainworx has it right, man. They know what they're doing. Slate knows what they're doing. UAD, I don't know if they know what they're doing because I don't use UAD. Well, they're charging people for a subscription, so maybe they don't know what they're doing. But I don't know. I think software-wise, it's probably pretty good. It's a real well-respected name. So they're good at analog emulations as well. And Harrison's got a lot of catching up to do. And so does SSL, as a matter of fact. But they finally are doing pretty decent with that 4KB plugin. I'll give them that. But they got some catching up to do as well. Like I said, I don't pay these companies for plugins that do exactly what this does, you know? I don't pay them for this. This already comes with my DAW, dude. I don't fucking need a plugin that says Harrison across the top and does the same shit. Oh, and look at this. It doesn't cramp. But yet they give all sorts of fucking arguments about why they are not going to decramp their bell curves because how hard is it? Oh, it's so hard and not necessary. But look at this. My stock EQ doesn't cramp. You guys are sad, man. But I don't pay them for this. I already have it. You know? What I'm paying for is the sound of analog in the digital world. That's what I'm paying for. Because that's what I want. That's what my favorite records are done on analog consoles. And I want the sound of an analog console on my computer. I want an SSL, damn it, in my computer. And I have one with the Brainworx consoles. So there. It'd be nice to have a Harrison also, because I would like to be able to have the Thriller sound. I think I did it though. I show another video where I did it with a Waves plugin and a couple free plugins from Analog Obsession, and managed to get an idea of what the Harrison sound should probably sound like when it's done properly. But I don't know. It's probably not exact, but it sounded good. But at the end of the day, I like this workflow though. Look how easy this was. I talked more than I actually mixed. Like that's how easy this was. And this was 18 tracks, and I spent more time talking than I did mixing. That's the way it should be. Damn it. Anyway, man, it's your boy Vigilante Styles. You guys be good. And until we meet again in my next video. Peace.